This icon contributed massively to both comic books and animation. Bruce Timm, while not notably a comic book artist among other names, it was Timm's dream to work in comics, and he would not only get to play his hand in that, but develop one of the most recognizable styles in all of television. His work in comic books actually date back throughout the 80s, around the same time he would start his animation career at Filmation. Earliest credits include a dozen mini Master of the Universe comics in 1984 that came packaged with toys. He would work on several comics throughout that time, but what stood out to me was Twilight Man and Whisper at First Comics in 1989. His style would become a staple in 1992 when he and Warner Brothers partners Paul Dini and Eric Randosky would co-create and produce Batman the Animated Series, the essential Dark Knight adaptation and one of the most boundary-pushing shows aimed towards families. Timm would basically design most of the characters with Mike Mignola and Kevin Nolan, but most importantly creating Harley Quinn with Dini, whose popularity would bring her into the DC Comics universe. These character designs always stood out to me, from the minimal design approach, the flat colors, and simple lines that are extremely expressive. Timm brought a unique and new look to these characters that were not seen at the time. In 1994, Timm and Dini would create a one-shot comic book entitled Mad Love, and the following year Batman Adventures Holiday Special, both winning awards for Dini and Ronnie Del Carmen. But the comic that stood out to me the most was Avengers 1.5 in 1999, where Timm mixes his style with John Romita Jr. and would later actually team up with him to pencil Captain America number 30. Seeing Timm's style in the Marvel Universe is such a chef's kiss, and I wish I lived in a universe where Bruce Timm was in charge of Marvel's animation. This comic is a blueprint for what could have been, and I definitely recommend you check it out. Bruce Timm's style became a flagship design for DC's animated universe, seeping into my personal favorite Superman the Animated Series and the edgy and futuristic Batman Beyond, creating Terry McGinnis with yet again Paul Dini. Additionally, Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. Throughout recent history, Timm's hand wouldn't leave comic books, producing various titles over the years such as Adventures of Superman and Harley Quinn. His signature style would make its return in 2024 when Batman Caped Crusader released with Timm as executive producer. Timm's style will live on for generations, providing us that warm, nostalgic feeling that takes us back to a simpler time.